Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Mandy, Bookish Artist here, and I am bummed. But we're gonna keep moving forward. I had sketched this out in my notebook, and then I had used my light table and did this whole process of how I got these, like, from sketch to line art on this paper. This is Kokuyo paper. I had a whole video, like, recorded, and it is gone. I don't know what happened, but it is gone, and my file got corrupted. Oh well. But I mean, so at some point I will record myself and the whole process, but this was going to be the end of the video, so this is just going to be the video. All right, so a couple weeks ago I painted with ink. Was it last week or the week before? Either way, I painted with ink. Oh, excuse me. And Micah Oatley suggested trying to put ink in a watercolor brush pen. And I had never thought of that before. I don't know why. So I ordered these off of Amazon. These were, I think, like $6 for 12 of them. My really nice ones, I think this one was like $10 just for this one. But it is a very nice pen. But for experimenting, and if I'm going to put more than one ink in, I wanted something a little less expensive. So I got these Mr. Pen branded. I've had a few things from Mr. Pen branded, and usually they're pretty decent quality for what they are. Let's see here. So this one, these have a nice little soft tip, and usually you just put water in them and take them to go in your watercolor kit. However, I am going to put a little bit of ink in these. Oh, these ones twist. So sometimes they twist one way, like this way. To unlock, these ones twist this way. I've had a couple of those that do that. So I picked out some of my inks from this month, my currently inked, and I wanted to kind of go with that. A couple of them have shimmer, and I'm not gonna, you know, as I shake my camera too, I'm not gonna shake them. I'm just gonna, or agitate them. I'm just gonna let whatever shimmer is in the bottle when I do it. I'm gonna swatch them. I'm gonna put them in here, see how it works. And yeah, because then I could take, what I really like is then I can take these on the go and just have like a little like case of these, and that might be fun. I don't know, something to think about. So, and I'm still trying to like twist them open this way. Oh, my goodness. So I didn't pick all of my currently inked, and I'm adding, I think I'm doing one that's not in my currently inked, one or two maybe. So yeah, I'm just gonna use these little pipettes and stick some in. I don't know how much I'm gonna stick in, probably just like a pipette's worth, because I have no idea if I'm gonna need to add water. I have 2 cups of water here to clean my pipettes and make sure they're real clean, because I don't want to contaminate. I hate the idea of contaminating my ink. Like, I don't like to dip my paintbrushes in my ink. I don't know, I'm weird. I probably contaminate my ink just by dipping my pens in them. But yeah, so then I'm gonna let this just sit and see if it takes on ink. So this is Kraken's Wake. What else do we have? Oh, okay. And I don't know, I think there's a couple pen companies. I know Archer and Olive had some of these like fountain, like these like for fountain pens. So this probably isn't a new concept, but it's new to me. This is something that I've never done, and so hopefully I'll give somebody else an idea of how to use their ink in a different way, maybe. I don't know, but trying it out. This ink is so saturatedly like with color. And I'm making a mess already. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before, I make messes. Yeah, it's kind of my thing. I call myself pure chaos. Sometimes I feel like I should change my my channel name to like chaotic artist. This is Aerofil paper, by the way. I didn't mention that, but this is Aerofil paper. And yeah, so I was gonna do Frankenstein. You know what? Actually, but I thought about doing Cassia. No, I think I'm gonna do Frankenstein. And then I said I wasn't gonna shake it up. And then what do? Instantly shake it up. So these have different tip sizes. So I think with the shimmer, I might want a little bit of a bigger tip. Yeah. I also do have my Sailor Hokoro dip pen here in case I want to add any details with the dip pen. I have taken my water from doing all these. Like, I've taken this water and tried to like put it on watercolor paper. It's so diluted that it just doesn't work. By the way, it's something I've experimented with myself. So maybe somebody else can get it to work really well. But I think this is genius. I think this is absolute genius. Way to use your ink in a different way, right? Okay, now Dracula I am not going to you know, shake up because I said I wasn't going to shake up my shimmers. So it'll be interesting to see the difference between Frankenstein and Dracula and like how much shimmer I actually get. This is going to be interesting to see. I'm very excited because I think you could also do with some of the, like with this brush tip, you could also do calligraphy. I mean, I'm painting with it, but you could also do calligraphy because the courses I've taken, like the few calligraphy courses I've taken online have brush tips. So like you use your Tombow or brush markers. There's another artist, Sori Kim, uses these brush pens, but she uses like the actual like ones with like, oh my gosh, I'm giggling at myself. So, like, she doesn't fill hers with ink. She uses the ones that already have ink in them. And I'm like, this is like not a concept. This is not a new concept. So how come more people aren't doing this? I'm wondering. Maybe they didn't think of it either, but I think it's Kuretake makes like you can get carbon ink in one of these. Just now thought about that. Sori Kim does that for her art, like her animal art. She uses a brush pen, and just because she likes to get the textures. But she also like uses it super dry. So it'd be interesting to see if I don't like push on this and get like it super dry, how it looks. I'm really excited about this. Like, this I might be onto something. And maybe I will start a trend for other artists. Hey, or just fun. Like, you don't have to, I think everybody's an artist, but like people who you know, are really, I don't know. I always I struggle because I have so many friends who love to do artwork and they're like, I'm not an artist like you are. I'm like, no, you are. I think everyone's an artist. It's just that you're choosing not to focus on getting better at your artwork, and I am. So I think I'm gonna flip this paper once I'm done filling these pens because I've splashed so much water on it. But yeah, it's just like one of those things, like everyone's an artist. It's just a matter of is it what you focus on versus what you don't focus on. And I have spent, especially in the last like 5 years, or 4 years, 5 years, I have spent pretty much every day honing my craft and like looking at other people and figuring out how to do things. And so, I mean, it's just a matter of what you focus on, right? I'm not a programmer, but if I took programming classes, I could become a programmer like my husband. I just don't want to. So I think I'll squeeze it just a little bit maybe. Or what if I get it wet? Maybe that will help bring it out. So I don't want it to be like super washed out, but I also don't want to overuse the ink where I have to fill it all the time. That would be really nice. But this one's Jane Eyre. Oh, hey, look at that. It's coming out. Because it's the same concept with like the Tom Studio pens. They have the reservoir inside of them, and then you use fountain pen ink. So my goodness, this is not a new concept, but maybe it's just not something that a lot of people do. And maybe we need to some more. Maybe we need to do this more. Because you can take this. I've done like, there's a creator who has Show Me Your Drills. I think she's like Happily Never Crafter. And I've taken her calligraphy course. So these could be really a nice way to use ink for her course. If I got the right size brush. But see, look at that, it's coming out. Oh, yeah. So I want to get these all started, and then we can start painting and see how it works with painting. And yep, there it is. There's my Jane Eyre. And it's really fun to see my Jane Eyre bottle is getting lower and lower. I have a second bottle of it, but I've been with all my experiments, I've been using the one that I added white lightning to. So this one has a little bit of white lightning in it, but enough that I don't want to use it for things. But yeah, you can practice your hatching. Sori Kim's class on Class 101 in Domestica, and it's Sori Kim. I'll write it so you can see. Sori Kim. I highly recommend her courses. She's so good, like teaching like the basics and the fundamentals of like doing like practicing your shapes and things. And so it's one of those things that I definitely appreciate. But let's try this one dry and like push a little, because you have to squeeze the water when you're using this. And there it is. There's Frankenstein. But then you can get a little bit more of a dry brush effect, like that. So then you have your dry brush effect, which is really cool. It gives like some really cool effects. This paper is going to get messy. Like this is definitely not like me swatching this. If you want to see what these colors look like in a swatch, I do have my April currently inked up on my YouTube here, so you can use that. But there it is, and look at that. Okay, good. So I almost think, what do I like better? Well, we'll see. Okay, so there's that. Oh, look at this one. This one just did it itself. Haha, look at that. So that one's ready to go. It's my Dracula. Very, very beautiful. Okay, any of the other ones did that? Did any of the other ones? I think the only thing that's going to be a hard thing is like I'm not going to be always sure what the color is when I am taking these out and about. So maybe I'll have to like label them, but then clean them out. So I'll label them maybe with like something that I can erase. Like one of those, have you seen those like overhead projector pens? I could probably do that. Or just, I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe this just stays this color forever. But I would like to reuse them. This is Black Cat. It's fun to see what the color is when it's very, very light. Cause like, look at like the depth that Jane Eyre has in it. That's why it's like it is my favorite ink, I think, still to this day. But Black Cat has some very beautiful depth in it, and you can get some really cool brush strokes here. And if you dip water, then you get it really, really, more like watercolor or paint. There we go. Okay. Ooh, what's this one? Oh yeah, this is milk chocolate, I can tell. Okay. Squeeze. Sorry, I'm being weird right now. I should stop apologizing for being weird. if you're watching my channel and this isn't the first time, you know I'm weird. You know that I'm random, and it's just part of me. It's who I am. This is Milk Chocolate by Kobe. Ooh. You can really see the pink undertones when you get it in a watercolor brush. What about when you, yeah, look at that. That is a beautiful color. Love that color. Okay, that one's done. And I wanted to save some of these and keep them empty, so I didn't ink all of the currently inked, because I know that there's going to be, I'm going to want other colors, I'm sure, that I don't have. Oh, there we go. Kraken. Birmingham Pemcoat. This is also a way to use your super dry inks in a way that, you know, makes them work. So, or if you have inks, like, I'm just thinking, like, if you have inks that just don't work because they're too light for the pen. Oh, I was twisting that off. If they're too light for the pen, this is a way to use it. Yeah. More people need to do it, right? Look at that. Okay, these are lovely colors. Oh, I love this color so much. This is the Call of Cthulhu. Look at that. Oh, this one is a very thick ink. It has a sheen. I think sheening inks are very thick. So I definitely want to use this one with water. Okay, so there's all of them ready to go. Now, my painting process is very much so intuitive. I don't have any plans. I'm just going to look on here and be like, this is what I want to color this. So I think I'm going to go in here. And I used, for the ink that I used on this, I did use ink to ink this up. I did use Rohrer and Klingner's Lily. This was before I got my new Tom Studio. So I had done this. I did this. I've had this since the beginning of April. I did this like April 1st because I wanted to use this in my bullet journal spread, but I just ran out of time. So definitely glad that I can actually do this and get this done, because I've really wanted to try this ink painting. And so I've had these brush pens for like a week and just haven't gotten around to doing this. But I'm kind of looking. So what I'll do is I'll paint one of these and then I'll look around on the sheet and see, is there another place I could do this and have it look good? Okay, there is a piece of hair, like one of the, yeah, that's gonna drive me crazy. It's like extra long, so it's like, ugh. So I'm gonna have to trim that off or pull it off. It's not pulling off, so I'll probably have to trim it after the video. But yeah, I love ink. Takes a little bit, like you can do it in layers, but it's not like a watercolor where you get a super light wash unless I were to use a regular paintbrush. But I would have to really desaturate this. I don't know if you can see right here, there is this like really long bristle and it is driving me crazy. I don't know if you can see that on screen. And of course, I don't have scissors right next to me. Okay, found some scissors. I'm gonna do this on camera, just so you can see the things that I do when things are really bothering me. There, okay. Finish my little dragon lady as much as possible, because I only want this. Now I'm wondering too, with this, how drawing over with ink would be. But okay, so now I'm going to look around, and now that I've painted one thing, I want to balance it. I know that these like, I'm thinking about making this my first foray or trial into printables. People keep asking, and I don't know that I want to, but I mean, if you really like this stuff, it's not too much work to make a printable. A little bit, like I have to edit it and stuff and scan it in, but it's a lot less work than trying to make a real item, and I don't have it in me to do real physical items. This is just my hobby, and I really like making YouTube videos to connect with people, and it's a lot of fun to connect. And the only things that I'm really doing is like if I have a video on here and I have a link, that's just like funding more ink so I can show you. But it's really not, I have no intentions of leaving my day jobs. So, yep. I just really like doing this. So that's why I'm like, I really don't want to get into the making merch because it takes your whole life. Like literally takes your whole life. It does. I did it for a long time. So yes, I ran my own business making things. I was a craftsman, and so I love supporting the businesses because I know how hard it is, but it's not something that I really want to do at this point in my life. Maybe someday again, but I don't know. Like, I'm a lot less stressed now that I have a job outside of my home and that this can just be a hobby. Like, I don't feel pressured to post videos. I like posting videos, but I don't feel pressured. And if I had a week where I couldn't post a video, I would not be sad. I mean, I'd be sad because I'm probably like super busy, but yeah. What I love about this, so I came up with these. So I wanted to do something like Gothic novel setting, as these are, you know, my Gothic novel colors. And so what's really fun is this character is a dragon that I drew for an illustration that I had in art show last year. So in 2024, I had it in a local art show. So I brought her back, and this is my dog Moo, or my like sketch of Moo, and this is my dog Brutus. Brutus is always very regal because he's an old man. But okay, so let's see. I'm not like married to a color, and I can come back to colors, but yeah. Look at Kobe milk chocolate when it is diluted. And what's wonderful is I can go back and make this darker if I want to darken the skin tone. But yeah, I'm not, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So like my dog, I always like to have him like looking regal or whatnot. And then my other dog, she's kind of a nutcase because she is a puppy still. She just turned a year last month. But she is a wild nut. And so Brutus is 9 now, almost 10. And so he kind of has really chilled out. He used to be a wild nutcase, but he has really, really chilled out since we got our puppy. And it's kind of funny because he just looks at her like, I'm so done with you. And she is a dog that's very different from him. He was a dog that he does his own thing, and he always has done his own thing. And he is a pug beagle lab mix, and he's a pain in the butt, and he has always been a pain, and he is so stubborn. And then Moo is her name, if I didn't say that already. Moo is so eager to please. Like she just is like, let me please you, and Brutus is like, yeah, right. So I was trying to make him look a little bit more like he's stuck up and whatnot, but I'm very inspired by my dogs and my kids and whatnot. Yeah. So looking at my dog and everything, I think I want to add Tasha Cha. See, this is why I didn't fill them all. I knew in my heart of hearts that I would figure out something that was missing or like a gap that I could fill. So we will fill this up with Cha because my dog is very much so because he's a pug beagle lab. He is definitely the like warm brown beagle color, and it's so funny because he looks like a lab beagle, but you can see in some pieces of him the pug, like especially in his facial features. I definitely see it. I grew up, my My aunt and uncle had a pug growing up. That was like my favorite dog ever. I've been a dog person until I was a cat person because I had a cat. But my cousin, or not my cousin, my husband is allergic to dogs, or allergic to cats, not dogs, excuse me. Allergic to cats, so we can't have one. So I begged him for a dog when we first bought our house. Actually, I just said, here's our dog, this is the one we're getting, and brought him home, or like, you know, made him come home with us. And that's kind of what I did with Moo too. I was like, this dog is, my friend was fostering her, and she couldn't foster her anymore, and so I was like, nope, I have to have her because I have fallen in love with her at your home, so you don't get to take her from me. I'm taking her. So it's really great. She did love the dog, but her other dogs were having a lot of health issues, and she was fostering her and was considering adopting, but then just could not. So yeah, I definitely think that the Chaw is a better choice for Bruteto. We call him Bruteto. Yep. And Tomato, and lots of other names. I don't know, if you have animals, do you give them nicknames? Like Musafine, we say, and oh, Mooney, she's down here and she hears me saying her name, so she's like, hi Mom, hey. Also, I think this would be really nice hair for this chick over here. But yeah, it's really fun to see how light that milk chocolate has dried. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, what are we gonna do next? And so, yeah, I know that there are artists who use specific, like I have Sennelier inks, and those are, once you lay them down, they do not move, so they're not water soluble, and they are not meant for fountain pens. So it's kind of like, this isn't a new thing, it's just something I'm trying, and I'm like, well, this is fun. I'm really enjoying this because it's like almost like a marker, an ink marker that I made, that I filled, and that like I can use my inks in a different way. Like, that's awesome. That's so exciting to me. I'm really stoked. Like, this is exciting. So welcome to my craziness of being excited. I'm really just trying to stick with this color palette and no more. So it's going to be an interesting thing as I get on here, what goes where. There's going to be some hop in here, definitely, for sure. But yeah. Oh, where else can I put this? So I could maybe make Moo's collar here be this brown, or this Kobe milk chocolate. It is such an interesting color. I don't know if it's considered a pink, if it's considered a brown or a pinky brown, but it's got some really lovely coloration in it. And I've really been enjoying it in my pen, and also just now I'm painting with it. Like, I could really get some really fun tones. You could really, if you wanted to, could really get some really just beautiful monotone things out of this. Like, there's pinks that are dry, as it's drying, it's pinky. I will, when I get to the end here, I will lift the artwork so you can really get up close and see how painting with inks is a lot of fun, because like watercolor has what I do love is watercolor has a lot of, my favorite property is the granulation, but ink has that. What I love about ink is it changes tones and colors in different places. And so some of those like really big like chroma shading inks, oh my gosh, I want to put one of those in one of these and see what happens, because you could get in those deep places, you could really get some interesting colors. So that is my thought process on that. But yeah, I think up here too, even Yeah, like you can see in the Cha, there's like some purpley. That's what I love about Tasha inks. Oh my gosh, they're so much fun. Tasha inks have become like one of my favorites. And I know that one of you, I forget which one of you, but you've been watching some of my videos. Thank you so much for watching lots of my videos. You mentioned that Cha is one of your favorite inks, so I'm very excited to have it in my collection and actually use it. And I am kind of obsessed with Tasha inks right now. So I have Abe, I have Cha and Suchi, and I do have a sample of Sabu, or is it the Sabe Midori, or that really interesting blue. I do have those. So if there is one that you're like, you have to try this, please let me know. Let me know. And this is my black cat. And I'm thinking that I might use my black cat as like the background of these. So it kind of brings them together and unifies them if they all have this like moody background. And I don't know, black cat has a shimmer. And I don't know if that's going to show up, but look at that beautiful, beautiful shading already. I don't know if you can see it yet, but it's so pretty. This is how this is helping it. So like the reason I hop around is so that and I've learned this from doing watercolor. I am impatient. I'm very impatient, and waiting for something to dry drives me crazy. So I like to draw small things, and then a lot of them, and then I will go and paint one thing and let it dry and like paint the next thing. My friend and I were talking over the weekend when we were shopping at Wet Paint in St. Paul, how one little half pan of watercolor will last me forever, because I don't do the sweeping big paintings. She does these huge paintings. She is such a talented artist. But she does these huge sweeping paintings, and so her paint doesn't last as long in some of the instances. Like watercolor does last a really long time. It's a big expense at first, but it lasts forever. But she was like, yeah, you paint so small that it's like everything lasts for a really long time. So it'll be interesting to see like these little tiny ink fills, how much they last. But it'd be fun to like randomly, oh, there we go. There's an idea. Let me know if you like this idea. Randomly throw some of my samples in a bin and pick them out, or have you guys pick them out, and then have to paint just using those colors. That would be a lot of fun. So let me know if that's something that you would like to see. I may do it anyway, but it's always nice to know if you're enjoying the content that I'm doing. I just kind of make videos as I'm doing this stuff. This is like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this today. I should probably film that. That would be fun. This is kind of how I go about things. I have like some plans. Like this has been planned because I did it, but I just kind of came up with this like idea on the fly, and then I have to do it. It's like an impulsive thing. Like I have to get this idea out of my head. And once it's out of my head, then I can move on. But that's how my brain works. And yeah, oh, I'm really liking having all of them have this like moody purple background. It's all like black cat is such a pretty color. And it's one that I don't use all that often because it is almost black. But when I do use it, I'm like, oh, why haven't you used this in a while? It was an endless exclusive by Wearing Gold for Halloween a couple years ago. And I don't know if they're going to restock it. It's been out of stock, but they are restocking Wuthering Heights. So I'm way excited. Finally restocking Wuthering Heights. Grace, if you're watching this, I don't know how often you watch my videos, but if you're watching this, thank you again for sending me a sample of that. I am just so excited because I loved it so much that I actually, had a swatch to be like, endless, please, 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 please stock this, because I need it. Like, I've been going to the listing for months and months, just waiting for it to be back in stock, and it wasn't coming, and I didn't know if they were gonna restock it. I emailed them a couple times, and they're like, we don't know, just sign up for the restock. And so, very excited about that. I am obviously, if you see, like, watching this, I'm a gothic novel lover. Anything spooky and weird and even Tim Burton-esque, sign me up. But also the originals. You can't argue with classically, well, you can, but I mean, classic Gothic literature is just fantastic. Some of it's problematic. I'm aware of the problematic things of classic literature. They definitely do not stand the test of time always. But I can't remember if there's stuff super... It's been a while since I've read Wuthering Heights, so I might have to, like, eat my words and be like, is there something super problematic in that? Because I know Jane Eyre is a bit like... Jane Eyre is not just a bit but it's a lot I still love Jane Eyre. I don't know how much I love it as like a romance to end all romances now, but it's just the writing. I feel like Charlotte Bronte had us in the room with her, and she was just telling us a story. But in fairness, of all of Charlotte Bronte's work that I have read, because I have read all of the Bronte sisters' work, of all the books, I remember, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I do remember that The Professor, which is like her most mundane and like simple work, is my favorite. And I think it's because it documented the life of a woman, and then she found somebody who made her happy, and she got married, and that was it. Like, it was just like so simple, and it wasn't like, you know, like high stakes or anything. It was just like, it was almost like a cozy, back when cozy like literature wasn't a thing. It was just kind of like, yeah. And I think it was her first published book, or it was her first written book. I can't remember, but I love The Professor. And it's so funny because it's like, yeah, I remember everyone in my course when we were taking the Bronte sisters course. Remember, everyone else was like, "This is the most boring book I've ever read." And I'm like, "This is lovely. I love this. It like kind of like gave me a glimpse of what it was like to be living in 1800s UK. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Actually, I know I'm weird, so it's not even a maybe. So little Dracula. So I think this is the only pinkish. I'm just hoping that I diluted it enough. Yeah, I did. Get some of this in there. I hope that you're enjoying this like real-time me painting with ink, and it's inspiring you to go grab your whatever, your artwork or whatever you're working on, and paint with me. Yeah, just kind of throwing this here and there. I think her dress should be red. It's very Christmas vibes now. Ooh. Maybe I do this. Yeah, that's better. It's not Christmassy vibes anymore. Mixing some Dracula with Call of Cthulhu. Look at that. That's pretty. That's almost black, but then we can maybe take it up here and throw this bow to be red. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that bow. I am really weird sometimes, or like all the time. I have to flip this. Sometimes I have to flip my sheet because left-handedness can be hard. In my sketchbook, it's always funny because I work on the right page before I work on the left page, which is very different than others. So when you open it up, like when you open up your book, like this page is drawn first, and sometimes, a lot of times, this page is drawn second because I'm left-handed. So then when I'm working with stuff, I'm not like getting my hand in everything. So I struggle when I'm hopping around doing that, but essentially that's the hope. Okay, I'm trying to really dilute this now, so I can come down here and add a little bit of this to this. See what it looks like when I add a little bit of this to that. My little bunny dude, I draw him a lot. Very Sailor Moon inspired. Oh, I just posted my vlog yesterday. I posted my vlog yesterday from going to the Sailor Moon show, and unfortunately they let us record, so it's like they wanted us to tag them, but my YouTube video got flagged for copyright, so I couldn't have the clip from the show in it, which is a bummer because that show was just phenomenal, like so good. But I couldn't have the clip on here on YouTube, so fortunately that's just how it goes, right? I forgot I had a little girl down here. There we go. Okay, now really like how, so this is a base layer of Kobe milk chocolate, like just a really light layer of it, and then it's Tasha Cha over it. What's this color? Here's my Jane Eyre. I think I want Moo to have some Jane Eyre. Yeah. And I was gonna do, because Moo is white. She is a boxer pit mix, so she's white and black, and my son calls her his fake Dalmatian, or his Dalmatian, because he's like, well, she looks like a Dalmatian. I'm like, but she's not. She's a pit boxer. But that's okay. That's okay, because that's what he wants her to be, is a Dalmatian. So she is a Dalmatian, and she does kind of look like a Dalmatian a little bit. She's just cute. We quite adore her here. Maybe give me some more Jane Eyre. I need some more color. You're very light in this pen. There we go. Now it's feeling good. And I really adore how this bow turned out. I wonder if I can lift some of that ink. Nope, now I'm just making a mess. Oops. Oh well. Like, this is not going to be perfect. Yeah. Not in the very least is this going to be perfect. I did scan this in prior to doing this, so I do have like this. I am going to put, when I put up this printable, I am going to put it up where you can color it yourself. So if you don't like the colors I'm choosing, you can print it out and color it yourself, or like choose the paper that you're going to color it. So I thought that would be kind of a nice little like selection, is just having the printable like colored version and the printable like not colored version. So I love to just like, sometimes I just print coloring pages to color, or I buy coloring books because I just like to color sometimes. It's nice, and that was kind of what I've been doing lately with other things. And so yeah, and yeah, I need to make, so this is a version of Earl Grey, but not Earl Grey, just another cute little lamb chop, a lammy lamb. But somebody said they need a printable or sticker of Earl Grey, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can do that. I can do that one of these days, just not today. I love him so much. He is one of my pride and joys when it comes to things that I've created. And he just kind of came to me. I don't know how to explain it. I was playing so much last year with the Earl Grey ink, and I was like, Earl Grey. And then I had to research what Earl Grey was like, and I was like, what if I had a little character that was named Earl Grey, and he was this and this, and he just kind of became his own character, and he's really fun. And I don't know what I'm doing with him. Like, he's in this like little like world, and he runs a coffee shop, but that's about all I got so far. This up here is giving me very Kiki's Delivery Service vibes, so I'm gonna leave it like that because that's kind of fun. Yeah, and then what I'm gonna do here is, because I want these dots to be the like Jane Eyre, I'm gonna color this in, and then I'll go over it with another color, so that will give it some different layers and depth. I'm just talking how I'm thinking about these things, because I, you know, just trying to make a process of what I'm doing and thinking about as I'm doing this. I think having the jewels be this really pretty Jane Eyre color is kind of fun. I just love Jane Eyre. It's got this like really beautiful like depthy halo that it does, that I can't describe it, but like right there, if you see, it's like it gets more saturated on the outside and then it desaturates, and I just love that so much about it. It like truly, it is a magical ink to me. Like in my mind, it is just like one of the most magical inks, and I can never get enough of it, and I don't know why. And it's not just like, and like, it's because it's beautiful, but then it's like named Jane Eyre, which is one of my favorite books of all time, so it like makes it even just that much more special to me. I don't know if that makes sense, like, but that's like what my thought process is with it. It's this magical ink, and it's named after one of the most beautifully written books that I have ever in my life read. And I've read a lot of books. And I've read Jane Eyre 3 times, and I have enjoyed it every single time. I really should reread it now, as I haven't read it in a few years, but every time I've read it, I've really enjoyed it. So I don't know if I will change my mind. I do know that Mr. Rochester is very not cool. I am not Team Jane and Rochester. I am just a fan of the book. And I think what I like the most is that Jane refuses to change herself, and she refuses to like let go of her values for Rochester, even though he has tried to make her do that in multiple times. The behavior that he has with Bertha Mason is very disgusting, but yeah, I don't know. And I don't know like what Charlotte Bronte was going through. I know that she clearly had a tough time. I mean, all of her siblings died on her, and then she died. She died, I think, from what I've read, I think she had preeclampsia. She was having a baby and died while she was pregnant, and so she and her baby died. I think it was preeclampsia or something like along those lines. I'm not sure. I don't think they really had like a, I don't think they had a diagnosis for that at that time, but preeclampsia is no joke. It's almost taken a couple of my friends, so it makes me anxious just thinking about it. Is this one? One's Kraken. Kraken's Wake. It's Birmingham Penco. Is it Kraken's Wake? Yes, it's Kraken's Wake. Because I also have that pen. I have the pen that's Kraken's Midnight Tide, so I get them confused a little bit every once in a while. I love this. I really love how this is turning out. It's just sometimes like for me, I have to paint. I get this like, well, how do I describe it? I've described it to people before, but it's like this itch, and I just have to. I have to paint. Like I can't think about anything. Like I get itchy, but I also get like really tense and really I don't know, just really pent up if I'm not creating, but painting especially. Like there's just something about the meditativeness that is painting and watching the colors come together. So like, and my ink has been such a big thing for me. I love ink and playing with it so much, and I have so much of it. So it's really, really fun to see that I can really play with it. Like, this is definitely the beginning of something. This is the start of something that's going to be something I do more often. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to this community with like sharing ideas and being open and everything. And my goodness, I have been so inspired by Micah Oatley. She is just a joy to watch, and just to hear how long she's been doing the journaling and the creative journaling is just so inspiring. And so I just have been really enjoying her content, and her illustration style is so cute and it looks so simple, and it's just kind of one of those things where it just feels so happy, and you can just feel her love for her art in all of her videos. And so I just have been really inspired by her and what she's putting out there. And so she suggested this, and I went for it, and I'm really glad that I did, because this is cool. This is really cool. Yes, paint with your inks in these. Gosh, yeah. I have to stop myself, because what I feel is going to happen is I'm going to have like 60 of these with different inks, which I guess isn't that big a deal. There's 12 in a pack, and it was $6. So if I get, 5 more packs, it's like $20, and I'm using my ink, right? It's making me use the ink that I've spent a lot of money on. So there's that. Yeah, I wanted to do a brown over this so I can have that purpley undertone, see what it does. I don't know what it will do, but sometimes what I like about regular ink like this is, so the ink that's the lines, that's the pigment-based Brewer and Klinger or Sketch ink. And so it is, since it's pigment-based and it's waterproof, it doesn't move. But these other inks, when you layer them, and I love doing it even in my like journals with my pens, when you layer them, they do kind of, get wet again, and they re-wet just like watercolor does. So you can add these layers, and you can really treat bottled ink, because it's water-based and everything. You can really treat this ink like watercolor. And so it's just like, I've always had the plan to like play and paint with my ink, but I just haven't done it as much. And so I'm excited to go down this journey and path and really get it. And I don't know how to describe what it is that's different about ink than like actual watercolor, but there's something about it that I love. And one of the things that my friend struggles with, we've talked a lot about it, because she's mentioned like painting with ink is not something that she can do, because she's thinking about the archival, because if she decides, or somebody decides they want to buy her ink, or like buy her painting, like if you were to buy this, it's not light fast. Like, these are not light fast. And so she really thinks about that. And so she's conscious with her supplies on whether or not they're light fast, because she, wants to make sure that people are going to enjoy them. Whereas I will put this piece in a binder that I have, that I'm working in, and I'll put it in a binder so it won't be like directly in the sun every day, so it won't fade. But like, especially with this ink would fade pretty fast if you had it on display. So doing prints may be something that I could do, but I wouldn't want to have somebody display this original artwork on their wall, because it would eventually fade. So just things to think about. But I don't sell originals. So it's like, okay, you know, like there's just like things that I can do, and you know, she could do them in her sketchbook, but it's hard when she has to, like, she's a full-time artist, so she has to think about that stuff. So it's one of those things where I am really glad I made the decision not to be a full-time artist, because I don't want rules placed on me, and I don't want parameters, and that, like, once you start doing your art for others, it really, like, you really become very much so beholden to the rules and things. So it's been really hard for me, because I've thought a lot about, I want to do a children's book, but then, okay, I do the children's book, that means that I am relinquishing control of my art. And that is really something that I really have to think about. Is that something I really want to do? I am trying to find Frankenstein. Are you Frankenstein? Because I don't think I've used it. Yes, this one is Frankenstein. I haven't used it yet in here, so. But yeah, so it's just like that kind of thing. Do I really want to do that? Or am I okay if I just never, ever, ever sell my art? And then, like, just do this? And I am absolutely okay with it. That's why, like, okay, printables, not pressure. I'm happy to do that, like, but anything more I cringe at, because I did it. I did my creative. I made my doll clothes, and I, you know, got to play with Barbies and play with American Girls and all that stuff for years and years and years. And I mean, I had some really cool, and I still do. I mean, I still have the dolls, but I have some really, really expensive, really beautiful dolls. And I, you know, I made clothes, and I like felt like I'd mastered the skill. Like I could look at something and make it into a doll clothing item like it was nothing. And so it was really like I wasn't challenged towards the end, and I was just so burnt out that it was really hard to want to continue to go to continue on. And I don't want that with my art, like because I at the beginning was like, I'm doing what I love and I am so happy, and I'm, you know, I'm working at home, and I did that. I had the adventure. I'm really grateful for it. But I think that's why I like teaching so much, is that I get to interact with people, and I get to learn, like, about students and get to know people, and, you know, just be a teacher. And I like that, and I love that. And then I come home, and my job isn't sitting right there saying, hey, is my order out? Hey, you know, I get to actually sit here and have conversations with you guys, not feeling like I'm obligated for anything. And I share the links and things because you want them. And so, you know, it helps to, like, support this hobby, but it's not what I'm looking to fulfill anything, you know. It takes work to do this. So yeah, if I post up a printable, I'm going to charge, but I'm going to charge a really low amount, because this is not something that I'm looking to make money from. I just, it does cost money to make content. So recouping some of that cost is always nice, but I also know that this is my hobby. And I don't know why I am rambling about this stuff. I'm sure that you all understand, but it's just one of those things that I continuously am like, okay, because I think it's a lot of it is like, right now I'm in the process of trying to get my own classroom, because I came at this late, because, like I've been mentioning, I ran my own business. I didn't start school. I didn't finish school as a teacher. Like I didn't do the student teaching route. I'm doing an alternative route. And so, like, sometimes it's really hard, because they have to, the way that my alternative route is I have to wait and hear if I'm going to have a classroom. And so I've been doing a lot of trainings and things, but I've also been doing a lot of long-term substituting positions, just waiting to see what will open and like what I need. Like, do I need to go back to school and get my full certificate that way instead of the alternative program that my state offers? I don't know. So it's just really been a hard process. And sometimes I'm like, well, you could just do this. And then I'm like, no, Mandy, you cannot just do YouTube and art and, illustrate. Like, you love doing illustration. You want to publish a children's book. You want to do YouTube. But if you make it your job, you will burn out and you will hate it and you will hate yourself and then you will feel like a failure. And like, I cannot go down that path. And so it's just one of those things that I have to remind myself, because I'm like, okay, people want this. Yes. And people can have this, but it also like, hey, it would be really great if it's just something that's fun, like not anything like big or important. So it's just, I have to have this pep talk with myself a lot, because I tend to jump in with my feet fully off the ground. So yeah, all in or all out. All in or all out, which is all or nothing, which is, a borderline personality trait. All or nothing. It can't be in between. No in between. It's either really, really good or really, really bad, or it's like, it's just like it takes up your whole life, or, whatnot. That's borderline personality disorder. So all or nothing, definitely borderline. But also, it's good that I know that I have borderline, so I know what I'm doing. It's like, oh yeah, that's you're splitting right now. You need to take it off. This isn't the end of the world. Like, I've had to like sit and calm myself, like in the middle of Lightbox, which is Lightbox is an animation conference. I didn't know how it worked, and I wasn't able to get into some of the places that I really wanted to. And I was really bummed about missing them. I was so bummed, because like, it's a little bit chaotic at Lightbox, because they make it affordable so that anyone who wants to attend, whether or not you're like a super high up animator or you're really in the industry, in the like entertainment art industry, you can come. So they make it really affordable. So then all of the sessions get like filled really fast, and I didn't know how it worked, so I didn't know you had to be in line and pick like 2 sessions, and that's about it. So I was in the middle of it, and I was having kind of a panic because I couldn't get into the like sessions I wanted, and I was ready to melt down. And like years before that, before I was diagnosed, I would have melted down and just been like, this is the end of it. And then I would have went back to my hotel and I would have shut down, and I wouldn't have gone to an event. I would have just been done. And so I knew because I've been working on myself and like recognizing these behaviors, I was able to say, no, okay, this isn't how you expected it. This isn't what was supposed to happen in your mind. This isn't how you built it up, but it's gonna be okay. You just need to breathe, think about what's going on, look around you in your surroundings, and take a deep breath and think about this. Okay, so you didn't get to go here. You didn't get to do the thing that you wanted. That's fine. What can you go to instead? And so I took a deep breath. I looked at my list, and I got in line for the next event, and I got into an event, and it was like the one that I went to was about like women in the entertainment industry, women in animation. Like, they had a panel, and it was like super helpful for me, because when I went to school, I started school for animation and always had this like feeling of regret. And these women were about my age, and I had decided, gosh, how old was I? I think I was like 21 and I had decided, oh, maybe I don't want to do animation for the rest of my life because I wanted kids. And I knew at that age that I wanted kids. And I was like, I'd read that, you know, a lot of the times in animation, you have to work 60 to 70 hours a week on the big time, but then you have a lot of downtime. And I was like, that just doesn't feel conducive to having a family. I really want to be present for my kids if I have them. And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to be an animator. And so I changed my major, and I got a degree in English, and really changed my mind on this stuff. But they had the panel there were women who did go into animation and then did have kids, and how hard it was because they just did not feel supported in the industry, and they felt like they had to go a different route. And I was like, yes, I made the right decision in my life. And so I would not have went to this panel had I gotten into the other one. And the one that I really wanted to, and I don't even remember which one it was that I really wanted to go to, but to this day, I'm really grateful. But I wouldn't have turned it around and really felt these things and really got to experience like okay, you know, I am where I'm supposed to be kind of deal, because I can do all these things and have my children, and my children are like the most important part of my life. But had I done that route, I probably would be in a different position and I would be in the same place that they are, if not worse, or I wouldn't have my kids. And my kids quite literally saved my life in a lot of ways. Actually, not even figuratively, literally. So it's just one of those things where hindsight is 20/20, you know, they say. And I'm just really grateful for being hindsight. And I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I'm just kind of rambling and like stream of consciousness thought. And sometimes this is what shows up in my journal, is my rambling stream of consciousness thought. But so I'm going to sit back and I'm going to look and see. I have everything colored. So I'm going to look and make sure that everything's colored the way I want it. And then maybe add some more detail or color detail. Like I think she needs a little blush. Oh, and those need to be colored, so we'll just do that because she's supposed to be wearing a cape. Thought she could be a vampire dragon. My son really likes dragons and whatnot. A lot of the things that I'm into now are because of my kids, so I have a lot to be grateful for when it comes to kids, and I'm really grateful that I have them. They're like one of my biggest inspirations. So there's that. But I wouldn't have had them if I would have went to LA or Anaheim and worked. And that's not what I wanted. I made the decision and made the conscious decision. And man, I think about too these little like choices in your life, and I think about how if I would have decided to teach overseas, I wouldn't have married my husband, and just so many good things when you make choices. And so it's like one of those things where if you are young and in your 20s, early 20s, even if you're not, know that sometimes even if you make a choice that you think you're going to regret, this stuff all comes back, especially like this. Like I never thought that in my 30s I would pick up art again. And like, I never thought I'd give it up, but I didn't draw for like 10 years. So I never thought I would be in my mid-30s doing art and feeling really good about it, but not like making it my whole life. It is fun and I love it, but I have other hobbies and I have other loves. Now, is this the cha or is this, I'm trying to figure out if this is milk chocolate. This is milk chocolate. See, I'm going to have to, that's the one thing. If I don't have these labeled, I am going to have to like have like a little swatch sheet, which is fine. It's just trying to figure out where my cha is. That's what I'm trying to look for right now. Is that, no, that's milk chocolate. I'm going to put that over here. because I'm getting towards the end where I'm just like kind of like, oh, hey, this could use a little bit more depth, or this could use this. I kind of want to make some darkness in her hair because I really like the way that this deepens dark. I really have to get this in a pen like yesterday. I should have gotten it in a pen, but I don't have any empty pens that I really want. I don't want to ink up another pen. I kind of want to throw some of this in here to make this kind of come together, because Lily is a really dark greenish brown, and so I want a little bit more warmth because it's very yellowy. So I thought maybe if I added some cha over it, that would be really nice. So that's that, like I was mentioning earlier, that's a really nice thing about ink. So I want to pull this up so you can kind of see, but this has Jane Eyre underneath the milk chocolate. And like, do you see how it just kind of adds such beautiful coloration? I love what's happening. This is still drying, but I love what cha does. You can see it right in here. I love that. Like, it's when you're using ink and it does that really dark shading. The hair on this gal. So, and then my my little Brutus. I love how the ink mixes together. It just mixes together in such a different way than watercolor, which is great because watercolor, there's a place for both of them, and I will still use them. But this was really, really fun. I really love how this turned out. Like, this will be great. I am I'm going to put this up, just the two sheets on KOFI. I'm not going to do anything special to them, so if you want to take them in and make them transparent and whatnot, you can. They're just going to be a printable that you can cut around. And it will be for the 2 sheets, for this one and the like uncolored version, the scans, it will be $1. So it's not like I'm going crazy, but it will be $1 for the printables. It's just there. It's a thank you. Like, if you want it, it's a thank you for like being here and appreciating, but like also a thank you to me if you do want this printable. And by no means do I expect anyone to buy it, but if you want it, it's there. That's kind of how I'm going to do that with these kind of things from like moving forward. If like there's one that I do for a video like this, I will post it up and probably like 50 cents to $1, like nothing crazy. Just something a little bit there, so it feels like I'm, you know, actually making some kind of money. But otherwise, yeah, these I got off Amazon. I will have the link in the bio if you want to try these for your ink. They're there. They're really fun. Like, I am really excited about doing this more. I really enjoyed this, and I know it was a long video. All my videos tend to get long, and I'm chatty, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you some inspiration on a different way to use your ink. And I hope that my rambling wasn't too weird and crazy, and I hope that, yeah, you just enjoyed this. So I enjoyed this, and I definitely want to do more of this kind of content too. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.